So today I'm starting 7.4, the applications of percent that apply to sales tax, discounts, and net pay. This section and the next two sections are all very applicable to your life, and I highly recommend listening to all the videos. So today we're going to talk about, first we're going to start with general percent application problems, and this is going to apply to all of the percent problems we do for the next three sections. It's very simple and straightforward. And then we're going to talk about sales tax, discount, sale price, and commission and net pay when it comes to having taxes taken out of your pay. So solving general percent applications, we're going to use the basic percent statement form to help you set up the equation. So remember, in past sections we've talked about percent times whole equals part. So that's just a very simplified version of this, but percent has to be as a rate, so it needs to be a decimal, the decimal version of percent. You take that times the whole and that gives you the part. We're going to use this over and over again in these problems. So if country music accounts for 32% of all downloads from an online service, how many country songs are downloaded on a day with a total of 1425 songs downloaded? So this is very straightforward. We take the percent, which is here, and the total number of songs, which is here. And we're going to apply that to this formula right here. So country music accounts for 32%, so that's going to be 0.32, and that's going to be times the whole, which is 1,425, so 1,425. And that's going to give us the part, which is how many country songs are downloaded in a day. So that is going to give us 456. So you just take it and put it in your calculator, 0.32 times 1,425. And that's all there is to these problems. The next one, in a survey of 420 teenagers, 35 said that they never recycle. What percent of teenagers surveyed did some kind of recycling? So there's a couple of different steps that need to happen here. So first, we need to figure out how many do recycle. So out of 420 teenagers, 35 never recycle. So the rest of them do some sort of recycling. We don't know how much, but that's not what it's asking. So 385 do some sort of recycling. So what percentage is that? So we need to figure out what the percent is in this case. So percent is the x, that's the unknown. The whole is 420. 420. So x times 420 equals the part, which is 385. That's this number here. So let's think about this. 385 out of 420 do some sort of recycling. We want to know what percent that is. So we are going to divide both sides by 420. And we find that x equals, let's stick with my colors here for you, x equals 385 divided by 420. So that gives us 0.916 repeating. So remember, this is a decimal form of percent. In order to put it as a percent form, we want to move the decimal place over two places or multiply by 100, and we get 91.6%. So 91.6% of teenagers did some sort of recycling. All right, so now it's your turn to try it. So as usual, if you want to take a look at this and pause the video and try it, then come back and check and see what the answer is. Good luck. Okay, so the first thing you have to notice here is that 77 said they never exercise, and then they ask what percent of adults surveyed did some form of exercise. So you have to take 280 minus 77 to get 203 who do exercise. Now we're going to find what percent that is. So x is the percent, the whole is 280, and the part is the 203 who don't exercise. We're going to have to solve for x, and we get 72.5%, 72.5. So next we're going to look at finding sales tax and the total amount paid. So just a few terms here. Sales tax is a percent of the purchase price, which then you add to the price, the purchase price. The total amount paid is then going to be the purchase price plus the sales tax. And just to put this in context, many have a sales tax rate of 6%. Vermont does too. If the purchase price of an item is $24.50 and the sales tax is 6% of $24.50, so we take 6% times $24.50 to get the sales tax of $1.47. Then to find the total purchase price, you take the sales price plus the tax, and that's what gives you the total purchase price. So if you like equations, there are some equations here, but you're going to find that these equations are exactly what we've been doing. So percent times whole equals part. So here's our percent, here's our whole, and here's our part. Okay, so percent times whole equals part. And then you take the new tax that you just found and you add it to the purchase price to get the total. Okay, so this is how we're going to do all of these problems, and I have the equation already laid out on every single one. So we'll just follow the equation every time. So our first example is about a cell phone costing $149 with the sales tax of 4%. So we're supposed to find the sales tax paid and the total amount paid. So we've got the cell phone. I'm going to highlight everything. The cell phone is $149 and the tax rate is 4%. So the tax rate is 0.04. And we're going to take that times the purchase price, which is $149. And that is going to give us the sales price. The sales tax. That's going to give us S. All right, so if we work this out, we get that the two multiplied together are going to give us 5.96. You want to go to the pennies because we're talking about money. So make sure you do that. So 596 equals the sales tax. Now don't forget then that they want to know the total amount paid. So don't forget to answer that part. The total amount paid is going to be the price of the item plus the tax. Okay, both of those are dollars. And we get $154.96. Okay, so that's the total amount paid for the cell phone, including tax. All right, so now you try it. This one's a camera and a sales tax rate of 5%. Give it a shot and then come back and take a look at the answer. Okay, so we have the answer here. The sales tax rate was 5%, so you change it to 0.05. Times $99 is $4.95. That's the sales tax. The total is going to be 99 plus 495 for $103.95. All right, the next example. When a student bought a new Nintendo Wii U console with a purchase price of $300, the sales tax was $22.50. Now we want to know what was the sales tax rate. So this time we are looking for the rate. Okay, so that one is going to remain, I'm going to leave it as R instead of making it X just to keep track of what we're doing. So R times the purchase price of $300, so I'll highlight these for you again, purchase price and the sales tax. That's not the tax rate, that's the actual tax. So the purchase price is $300, so R times 300 equals S, which is the sales tax, $22.50. You don't have to work with the dollar signs while you do this because it just makes it have more to deal with. We're going to divide both sides by 300. And we are going to find that R equals $22.50 divided by 300. And when you take $22.50 divided by 300, of course, you're going to get a decimal, 0.075, which if you move the decimal place over two places or multiply by 100, you get 7.5%. So the sales tax rate was 7.5%. The next topic is finding discounts and sales prices. A discount is a percent of the original price, and then you subtract that from the original price to give the sale price. So again, percent times whole equals part. The discount rate, which is the sale discount percentage, and you're going to change that to a decimal, times the original price is going to give you the discount. So I made a formula for you here, but it's nothing new. Then the new sale price, P, is the sale price P is the original minus the discount. Okay, so be careful of what these questions are asking. Sometimes it asks you for the discount, sometimes it asks you for the new price. So if new shoes are priced at $120, so this is the price, they're on sale for 30% off, find the discount and the new sales price. All right, so the rate is 30%, so we've got 30% of 120 equals the discount. 30% of 120. So that means 0.30, 30% of $120 equals the discount. Okay, so that's going to give us our discount. Not our new price, but our discount. So make sure you've got that straight. So 0.3 times 120 is $36. So we get $36 equals the discount. So in order to find your new price, the sale price, so P equals the original price, O, minus the discounted price, D. Okay, so the original price was $120, and we're going to subtract $36, and that's going to give us $84. So the new price for the shoes is $84. All right, so now it's time for you to try it. So give this next one a shot. And I've got the formula for you sitting there. So just follow that, and then don't forget that you then have to find the new sales price. Okay, so you should take 0.25 of 80 is the discount, so that's $20. So the new price is the original 80 minus the discount 20, and that gives you $60. So the new price of the desk lamp is $60. The last thing here in this section is to think about this. Can a discount be greater than 100%? I'm just going to give you a moment to think about that. The answer is no, because if it was greater than 100%, it would be free. In fact, then the person selling it would be owing you money. So no, it can't be greater than 100%. This next section is about calculating commission. There are lots of ways that you may be paid in your job. Some of them are hourly, or you're on a salary. Other people who work in sales especially, they earn a commission, which is going to be a percent of the things that they sell. So this works the exact same way as all of them. Percent of whole equals part. So the commission rate, which is again a percent turned into a decimal, times the total sales equals the commission that they receive. Okay, so we're going to look at some of these. The first example, a real estate broker earns a commission of 6% on his or her total sales. If the broker sells a home for $212,000, find their commission. So the commission rate is 6%. So I will highlight these in case you like to see that. So the rate is 0.06. The total sales is $212,000. And we want to know what the commission is. So you're just going to multiply those two together, and you're going to get $12,720. And that's all they're asking for is their commission. So the commission on that sale is $12,720. Okay, so next you can try this one. And so pause the video and then come back and take a look at the answer. Okay, so I've highlighted the important information here. R is the rate of their commission. The total sales, T, is $2,400,000, and you should get that their commission is $60,000. Remembering that we have three different variables here, it's not always the C, the commission, that we're going to be finding. Sometimes one of the others is missing. So that's what we're looking at in this problem. So we have the commissions of $876 and a commission rate of 3%. So the commission rate comes down here, 0.03. We're supposed to find the total sales. Okay, so I'm just going to make that T because that's what we're looking for. And we know what C is, which is $876. Okay, so in order to find T, we're just going to divide both sides by 0.03. And we're going to find the total sales, T, to be 876 divided by 0.03. And that is $29,000. $200. Okay, so what that means is the sales that they made was $29,200. The commission that they made off of it was $876. So here's a similar problem. Why don't you give that a shot and then come back and check your answer. Okay, so in this one, the commission's $256 and the rate is 4%, and we're supposed to find her total sales. So 0.04 for rate, T is unknown, equals 256. Divide both sides by 0.04, and you should get that the total sales that they made was $6,400, and the commission that they made off of it was $256. So when you get an answer, make sure you stop and think about what you just found and make sure it makes sense. The next topic is calculating net pay after taxes and insurance and other deductions have been taken from your gross pay. So I'm going to give you just a moment to read these 3 little paragraphs right here with the definitions and take a look at this formula. So be sure and pause if you need a little more time to read through that, but make sure you understand net pay is the amount after withholdings. Gross pay is what they tell you you're going to make. So if you're told you're going to make $40,000 a year, that is your gross pay. The net pay is after everything is deducted. Okay, so the percent is the withholding rate, the whole is your gross pay, and the part is your withholding amount. Okay, so you're going to take your rate times how much you make to find out how much was removed from your paycheck. So a factory worker has 26% of their weekly pay withheld for taxes, insurance, and a retirement plan. If their weekly gross pay is $860, find their total withholding, so that means the amount of money that was taken out of their paycheck, and then the pay that they actually get to put in the bank, the net pay. Okay, sorry, I had to shift that up just a little bit to have a little more room. So we've got our withholding rate times the gross pay equals the withholding amount. So R is 26%. And their weekly gross pay is $860. We want to find their withholdings and their net pay. So R is 0.026, 26%, times their gross pay. Their gross pay is $860, and that is going to give us the withholding amount. Okay, so if you take 0.26 times 860, you get 223.60. All right, so I'm going to just stop right there and just point out something. The book doesn't talk about this, but if your weekly pay is $860, that's what you're told you're being paid before any taxes are taken out, then what is your yearly salary? So if you're making $860 a week, how would you figure out your yearly salary? So the yearly salary is going to be $860 times 52 weeks, because this is weekly. So 860 times 52 is 44,740. Okay, so these are important things to know for life when you're looking for a job, and just so that you understand how much money you're going to be making. Okay, so net pay then, net pay each week is going to be $860, the gross pay, minus all of the withholdings that are going to be taken out for taxes, insurance, and the retirement plan. So after withholdings, your paycheck that you actually put in the bank is $636.40. Okay, so now what is this yearly pay? This yearly pay is going to be this number times 52 again, and that is going to equal $33,092.80. Okay, so pretty big difference, $11,000, more than $11,000 difference that ends up coming out. So when you find out how much money you're going to make, be sure that you know that that is not the amount you're actually going to make. This is the amount you're going to make, if that is your withholding level. So go ahead and try the Now You Try It problem. Pause the video and give it a shot and see if you can find the total weekly withholdings and the weekly net pay. You don't have to do the yearly. I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so we've got 22% of weekly gross pay of $740. So 0.22 times 740 is $162.80. So the net pay is going to be the 740 minus the withholdings, and that's going to give you $577.20. We are at the last topic in this section. It's about finding percent change. So when a price goes up or down, the actual amount it increased or decreased is often not as significant as the percent change. So which $1,000 change is more impactful? So take a moment to look at what's happening here. So we have a home price that increased by $1,000 from $250,000 to $251,000, and a tuition increase from $4,500 to $5,500. And the way we look at the most impactful changes is by the percent change. And the way we do percent change is it goes from an old amount to a new amount. The percent change is given by the new amount minus the old amount over the old amount. It doesn't matter which one's bigger because sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. We always take the new amount minus the old amount divided by the old amount, always the original amount. So another word for old is original. Okay, original, the original value. Okay, so the original value always goes on the bottom. And don't forget to take it times 100. Okay, so we're going to look at this particular problem. So we're going to see which one is definitely most impactful. So we have a home with a new amount of $251,000, and the old amount, $250,000. In other words, it went up, so it's positive, over the old amount, which was $250,000. So to put this in your calculator, you want to do the subtraction first and then put it over the 250. Or if you're just going to do it all at once in your calculator, use parentheses and then say divide by, and then you don't have to put an equal sign in anywhere. And don't forget to take it times 100, and this is going to give you 0.4%. Okay, so it's not 0.4, that would be 40%. This is 0.4%. All right, the tuition situation, we've got $5,500, which is the old value, the new amount, minus the old amount for tuition, which was $4,500, it's gone up 1,000, over the old amount, which was $4,500, times 100. And that will give us 22.2%. So this is what we compare when we say which one is the bigger, most impactful change. $1,000 compared to a $250,000 house is not nearly as big of a change as this tuition increase. So something that you need to note is that a positive percent change means an increase in price, and a negative percent change would mean a decrease in price. Okay, so now it's time for you to give it a shot. A worker's weekly salary increases from $1,200 to $1,260. Find the percent increase, and then come back and check your answer. Okay, so the new amount is $1,260. The old amount was $1,200. The old amount goes on the bottom. Put this in your calculator and get 5%. Okay, the next one is CEO reduces their company's workforce from 250 to 220. So the new amount is 220. And we're going to subtract the old amount, which was 250. And we're going to put that over the old amount, which was 250. Take that times 100, and you should get negative 12%. So there's a difference between, and I'm going to point this out again at the end, there's a difference between saying a negative 12% decrease or a 12% decrease. So there's a negative 12% change, and there's a 12% decrease. Okay, so the automated homework is going to be very picky about this. Make sure you pay attention to your negatives. It's a negative 12% change, but a 12% decrease. If you say a negative 12% decrease, it's a double negative, so you're basically saying it's increasing. All right, so the next one is for you to try. So give this one a shot and see how you do, and come back and check your answer. Okay, so the new amount is $858. Because it's decreased, it's going to be lower than the old amount, which is $880. Make sure $880 is the one that goes on the bottom. If you put the wrong thing on the bottom, the answer will be wrong. So you get a negative 2.5% change. Another way to say this is a 2.5% decrease. Remember, using a negative depends on how the question is asked. So take a look down here at the note. Are you asked for the percent change or the percent decrease? If it's a change, you use the negative. If it's a decrease, you don't. Okay, thanks for watching.